Hello everybody, this is Zach Geisler here with another Revit tutorial. Today I'll be using Revit 2020 to talk about some tools to use in Revit, and today I think I'm going to talk about rendering. So if you don't know anything about rendering, you can take your model and you can render it into an actual picture or actual lifelike, basically a photo of what it would look like when it's all done. So, and how you do that is, as you can see, I have my sample project open again for my tutorial that I've been using. So let's say you want to do this and you want to render something, so you go to View, and then so you click View, and you under the Presentation section, which is right here, you can hit Render in Cloud, or the Render Gallery, and I'll go through each of these for a minute. But what you want to do is you can click Render, and it'll bring up this bar right here. It says Render. It's the rendering bar, and it comes with all the tools you need to render this. So let's start off with the quality, and under settings there's multiple different settings you can do. And if you just wanted a quick just like a quick wet render, because the higher quality you have, the longer it's going to take. And so especially if you don't have a great computer, but if you just do a draft or a medium, you would be able to do a pretty quick one. So right now I'll just put it to medium. Well, I'll do draft first to just see what that looks like. And so what I'm going to do is resolution screen, and so I'm going to keep that the same, and you can adjust these settings to whatever you like, but I like to keep them there. And then I'm going to come down to lighting here, and you can do exterior, the sun only, and exterior sun artificial, or just artificial light. So you can do all of it. So I'm going to just do sun and artificial, so any lights you have in the project, it'll show up. And then you can do the sun setting. Now, if you click these three dots next to it, it'll bring up this sun settings bar, and you can adjust the settings in here. Now, I'll be honest, I'm not sure exactly, and I haven't played with all of these before, but you can do a solar study actually on here, where you can do what the sun would be like throughout different times of the day, or throughout multiple days. Now you can do this in the sunlight. You can choose sunlight from top right, sunlight from top left, whichever way you want it to go. And I'm just going to keep it at top right, and I'm going to keep it at just lighting. But there's all sorts of things you can do with this, and yeah, so I'm just going to leave all that the way it is. And then in the background, you can add a few clouds, you can make it no clouds, very few clouds, you can do anything you want. You can add an image in there, you can do a lot of cool things in there. So I'll show you I'll start off with very few clouds right now, and then you can click this adjust exposure button, and you can go through and you can manage all of this. The exposure value, you can change it from darker to lighter to whatever. You can add darker shadows. You can add more intense saturation if you want to, and so I'm going to hit OK with those settings, and it might be just best to go and mess with them and see what they do. So I'm going to go ahead and hit render and see what happens here. And this might take a few seconds, but let's just see what happens. See how long this takes. Okay, so as you can see, it did it fairly quickly. And what it does is it renders what's on your screen right now. And so, because I have my 3D view up, it'll render that. And as you can see, it rendered. It's not great quality anything. It's just a quick draft, just to kind of see what the materials would look like, and to see how everything fits together. So you can see, the more I scroll in, the more pixelated and blurry it gets. And as you can see, if I scroll too far out, you can see how much of it is actually rendered. So what I'm going to do now is, once it's rendered, you can save this in your view, and you can save it to the project, you can export it, whatever you want to do. And I'm gonna, if you don't like it or you want to get rid of it or whatever, you hit show the model, and it goes back to just how the model was. But once you do that, you lose your rendering, okay? It's gone, unless you save it somehow or something like that. So I'm going to just find a better view to just do this in, I guess. I'm gonna do it something like this, and so we can get a little bit closer on there and see it a little bit better. So I'm gonna just do one more rendering. I'm gonna keep all the same settings that I have, and just to show you a little bit different, I'm gonna go to medium. Now this is gonna take a little bit longer, but I don't think it's gonna take like so long to make this video exponentially longer. So let's just see how long this does and see what happens. So this is on medium again, and it has this, sorry I forgot to bring this up last time, it was on my other screen, but it has this rendering progress bar that shows up, and as you can see it's going pretty quickly, and I'll show you how much it's completed and the time that it takes to do this, and everything, and how many artificial lights you have in there. So right now we're about 20 seconds in. It took about 20 seconds to do that, it says. But now, compared to my last rendering I just did, the draft, this is a lot better. Now you can scroll in a lot farther before it gets really pixelated, you can't see. And I just feel like the medium shows a lot more of what you like to, and it's not that much longer. So when I just want a quick rendering, I usually just do a medium one because it's fairly quick, and it shows it, I feel like it shows it better than it does in the draft. And so rendering is really simple, and it's just a kind of a nice, it's like when you're done with your project, you have this nice rendering that'll show up, and it's just a great thing to look at and to have as your final project. Now, like I said, when you get into these higher quality renderings, like the high and the best, you can customize it to whatever you want. When you get into these, it's going to take a lot longer, but so you want to prepare for that. But so you want to make sure all your settings are the right way before you waste your time with doing a high quality rendering. Anyway, that's it for this video today. I hope I was able to talk clearly enough that you understand what I was able to say. But that's kind of a basics of rendering. It's fairly simple, and sorry I didn't get into these other tools in the presentation, but they're fairly simple. You can render in the cloud online as well, and you can hit the render gallery to see what your previous renderings were. But I just say get into it, try it a few times, see what it looks like, and you can really turn out with some great projects at the end of this. So again, end of my video. Hope you all have a good night. Thanks for listening.